Welcome back to the Humble Hut. My name is Five Potatoes, and I want to cover some of the new features of Secret Shadows. Super excited about Secret Shadows. I've been having a lot of fun playing against the new cards. It really adds an interesting element to the game. But there are three new kind of game mechanics that I wanted to quickly cover. The first one, um, the Secret Shadows introduced Dark Aura type. Uh, Brand new aura type. It's been a blast to play with. But with that dark aura type, the aura card itself has a different ability. So all the other auras have destruction. So a player can spend an action to an aura enhance a lane as long as the creature has the aura enhancement symbol. They have the aura enhancement symbol for an action. The player can enhance that lane by taking one of their untapped auras and adding it to that lane as long as it still meets the unit limitations. So the five maximum of 5 units unless it was modified. So what this does is if the player ends up winning that lane, if you win that lane and there's a destruction um, uh, ability in that lane that causes the opponent to shatter one of their units of their choice. It also adds +1 influence. Well, the Dark Aura is a little bit different. You still play it the same. You still need a creature that you can aura enhance, but instead it still provides that +1, but instead it has steal 1 MP. So if you end up winning that lane, instead of causing destruction, you cause steal, which means you reduce your opponent's total MP by 1 and you increase yours by 1. They must have an MP to steal. So if your opponent has 0 MP, steal does nothing. They have to have something for you to take. I love this ability. I think it's super strong. It's effectively a two mission point swing, right? You're reducing them by 1 and you're gaining 1, a 2-point swing. Super powerful. Another game mechanic that it introduced are hex tokens. So this creature, Banshee of the Badlands, a ton of creatures in Secret Shadows that have hex tokens. Hex tokens are added onto the creature or equipment, added onto the unit. And they, um, for each hex counter on a unit, that unit contributes 1 less influence during the missions. So if they are dueling or receive damage, the hex tokens do not affect any of that. So damage in dueling, all of that, you still need to overcome their base influence unless it was modified. The hex counters only matter when you declare a mission and you're counting up each side of how much influence your opponent and you have. That's when they affect. So for every hex counter, it reduces it by 1. And that can go negative. Ton of fun. I ended up making some hex counters. There are no actual cards within the game. The recommendation by some of the developers was to use dice to keep track of the number of hex counters, but I created a bunch of my own. So I'll put a better picture up on the screen. I was trying to envision what is a hex counter? Is it some cool symbol? Is it like poison? I thought about maybe making a spider, but ultimately I'm like, well, hex, I have to go with a hexagon shape, right, for a hex counter. I end up finding a bunch of these small hexagon shaped wood pieces on Amazon and wood burned the X into the little tokens, little pieces, and then burned the surface to make it darker. The backside is the original is a lot lighter. These are amazing. I love playing with these, super easy to make. I ended up making about 400 of them for the Nova holiday event this past weekend, um, and there were like everyone loved them. A bunch of people got to take home the hex counters. It, a ton of fun. The last thing that was introduced, the keyword called unlimited. So previously, any activated ability can only be used once per round. Well, now that's no longer the case. Abilities that contain, like the mad scientist, thorny inventor here, if they contain that keyword unlimited, they can be used as many times as you want in that round. It still requires one action to use each time, but that is a big game changer. There's some new cards out there that I think could be very powerful. You can move them multiple times, add more hex counters. I think it's a very fun mechanic. So those are the three main things that were introduced. The stealing mechanic to the Dark Aura, the hex tokens, and the unlimited keyword. So I hope that helps you play with the new cards, and I'll catch you next time.